Absolutely cracking win for the Raiders. Tough times for Knights. I've actually played a really nice game, and the Raiders holding on in that second half to then the Knights to go ahead, and a great game from Ponga. Really stepped up. Looked like he was very much under the weather. Apparently pretty sick, and to that game winner from Hudson Young at the end. Well done to him. He had a terrific game again, 3 in a row for Hudson, and he's now made a fair bit of cash. 49 up on the season there. 23 up on the season, 49 up just in the last week. So he, as I said, he's been on a bit of a tear. But the one we want to speak about the most is Adam Elliott, and he is very, very closely getting himself towards a 50 average price, which is incredible. 660k now. He was down a lot. We've gained about 200k or so on Elliott if you picked him up when I suggested to a bunch of weeks ago, and I did not expect this at all. The last 3 weeks he's been averaging in the high 60s now. Two mid-60s, a mid and a high 60s and a 71 with 2 tries. And for this game here, to play 60 minutes and to score over a PPM with just the one attacking stat being a line break assist there for 2 points, the 54 base in 60 minutes to go along with 7 tackle breaks, the offload and the turnover tackle is unheard of for this type of player. He's probably had 1 or 2 big scores like this, not even this high in his whole career, and you can see he's actually getting better and better. I spoke about him a few weeks ago that game he got 40 in the 43 minutes. It just felt like he was close to the best player in the park. He was running for 10, 12, 15 meters every time, running with vigor in every play. And this is the type of player that they need for a side that's been really struggling the last year or so. This is the type of player, him, Tarpany, obviously Papali, the 3-prong attack there through the middle, and then to have some attacking flair with Hudson Young on the left, I think has been really, really special and important for them. With a little bit of spice at the back with someone like Xavier Savage, who is obviously really young and raw, but has plenty of potential. So I thought this was a really, really cool game. And if you own Elliott, which there's obviously a decent percentage to do in that top 5,000, you're really cheering that. I think it's a bit over half. And if you, there might have been if you're one of the odd people that picked him up this week or the week before, then shout out to you for taking that risk and seeing what I suppose I've been seeing as well over the last bunch of weeks. The interesting one here with Tarpany, I was having a laugh about calling up Ricky Stewart there and talking about stealing, so that Horsburgh was going to take his minutes. He actually lost minutes this week, Tarpany. He was up in the 58, 60 kind of mark there for around that mark in average of the last few weeks, and down to 46 this week. Thankfully they still won, because I feel like he needed to play more. To get 203 meters in 46 minutes is just incredible without even a line break to get those massive minutes. So his post-contact, his ability to just run for big meters, and got a nice try assist as well. No offloads in this one, which is not normal for him, and to still get 58, I'm still pretty happy with that. He was 758 in price coming into this, and he still exceeded that what he's priced at there. So awesome game for Tarpany. Ponga there with the 56. So as I spoke about, I got a try saver, the 2 try assists there, 7 tackle breaks, 116 meters. He was great, and good to see. He's obviously down another 15k to be 490. He's definitely going to be a factor at some point in the year. If Knights can play similarly to this on a regular basis, I think that he's going to have an opportunity to continue scoring well. It's just great to see him, obviously in a game where he wasn't feeling great, to do really well. Cody Mann with 56 there was lovely. Obviously the 44 tackles and 100 meters is what we've been hoping for him, and a nice try to go along with it, a 56. So not someone we're really going to be looking to target, but if you still own him, the people that aren't really playing anymore, he's obviously had a nice one. Fogs has been a pretty solid one over the last bunch of weeks as well. When Whiten comes back, he's not going to be doing as much as he is here, but he's obviously been someone that's been a keeper in the past. The Raiders playing well at the moment, so that's obviously boding well for him. And the tackling is the biggest one. 27 tackles for 1 miss, and the 3 forced dropouts was great. Randall was solid. Not that many people have him anymore, but he's still making cash over the last 2 weeks. Some 2 big scores, which he always did when he got the minutes. He's just he lost that through that middle period. Papali with a solid one as well, 45 minutes for him. Mitch Barnett, after getting the early HIA, came back and got a 51. So if you picked him up last week, then you're happy that he obviously came back on. Very different to what happened with Twali, for example. Horsburgh, if you're owning him, you're happy with the 47. If we come down the line, Clem this week, unfortunately, a bit down on points. The -8 was not too bad, to be honest. -4, -6 was what you'd be hoping for, with just a couple of missed tackles, but only 30 made. The 160 meters was fine. The minutes was fine. Just the score wasn't as great this week, and that was the only worry we spoke about with picking him up at 780, 790, it was just that he had to be scoring that mid-50s every week. And, it's very normal for some of these middle forwards to have lower weeks. And it obviously just cooks you a little bit when you pick him up high, which you saw with Isaiah Papali'i as well this week. He lost a fair bit of cash. Savage there, 40. So he was on like 46 or something, like early on in the second half, and then happened to get a bunch of errors and missed tackle or two to finish off. But overall, a 40 for him, a try assist. He is showing his talent, obviously, a 53 gain, which is lovely there for anyone who owns him. We'll be able to eventually move him on. But his scoring has been really good. It's not something we have to think about moving on anytime soon anyway. If we go low here, we see obviously a low game from Frizz, which is upsetting for him. Only that 21, the 5 missed tackles out of his 23 there, only running the ball for 43 was not ideal. If you picked him up, I don't think there's many there's a few people asking about him, but more people interested in Clem, I think, than Frizz. If you did pick up him, that's obviously a tough week for him there. Frawley a 7, Schiller with a 2 if you still own him. Congrats. And Rapana a low 1 as well, but I don't think many people are owning him this week. It's just not his type of year, unfortunately. All right, move on to the Dogs game v the Tigers, isn't it? I didn't expect this many points, but I did expect Dogs to win, and we actually see a couple of the highest scores in the game from 3 of the middles in the Tigers, obviously making a fair few tackles there, 48, 42, and 46 respectively there. But Tamau, not really one of note, but a nice try at the back end for him, and a couple of turnover tackles was solid. Little playing big minutes and having a nice score. He's at a weird price though for anyone who's looking at him. Pango Jr. with the 8 offloads for 28 points there. A few people asked me in the comments, guys, as to why there's a discrepancy. Any offload to ground is 2, any offload to hand is 4. So just be aware of that. So that's that with him. Offengawe with 56 in the 77 minutes. So with Twa going down, it was made sense that Offa played the huge minutes there. Shot was solid. Obviously got a runaway try at the end for the 293 meters. He actually looked really good. Ran the ball hard. He had a fair bit of pace. Obviously, just watching that Adokar run next to him, that hit the gate on that man and how easy he gets up the field. Obviously, Shop's carrying the ball, but he just sidled up next to him so easily, which was pretty cool. Maxi King, I think we're just going to continue holding him now until Luke Thompson comes back. King is the man that we have to keep in our sides. He's going to continue making money. You look at him and he's been averaging in the mid 50s the last few weeks. If he can continue at least even just a 50 average, he gets up to a 700k price very, very soon. He'll be up 20k, 25k on a week to week. So he's still got money to make and he's still scoring keeper level numbers, especially when we have a lot of guys scuffling at the moment with low 40s, for example. If you picked up Burton this week, you did get a little price bump, but the 49 is obviously not what you're after. But it's good to see that he can get a 49, even in a game where he hasn't got any attacking stats. Just the 1 line break assist for him and the 6 goals. So as we've spoken about, great that he has the goal kicking. He just had to get a little bit more involved in the attack. He did get close to scoring a try. So overall, him running the ball for 100 meters and kicking for 298, like just missing out on that extra 2 points there, he'd be at 51, for example, and still had plenty of negatives. 4 missed tackles, 3 errors, and the 2 6 against, for example. So neg 16, still picked up 49 points. You're happy with that for sure. Kiraz, who played him? Who had him on the bench? I've played him for 17 and 27. And missed out on a 70 odd and a 49. So good times in my end. But obviously, plenty of price rises for him, up to 476 now. So he's done a great job. If you picked him up real early, then you've got 256k in the bank, which is beautiful. And a guy that we don't need to get rid of. Round 16 is going to be a nice one for him. And if he scores really well in that one, we might be worth holding him through to 18, 19, 20, and then potentially moving him on to a clear gun fullback from there. So very, very cool, that one there. Jackson, the 65 minutes obviously cost him from getting those big points. The tackles were down a little bit, just at the 30 mark. Really nice that he picked up an offload and 4 tackle breaks just to save us a little bit, but he's been someone that has that mid to high 40s in him and then has that 60 as well. Avrilo picked up 2 tries again, so if you got his 53 gainer and the 47, you're really, really happy with that. Marshall King with a nice try. He's been playing pretty solid, to be honest. Adokar, another lovely game. Hastings with 40. I still think he's a trade out. Another 38k down to 539. He was solid again, not really kicking for big meters when you're looking at Brooks. Again, doubling his kick meter tally. And Brooks the one kicking goals. Hastings is not a keeper anymore, unfortunately, after how well he dominated. For Talamara, just under 60 minutes, the 18 tackles is the big worry. Really, really looked great when he ran the ball. 165 meters and plenty of post contact. Making over 10 meters a run at a minimum every time. He will get some attacking stats at some point. You know, the 2 offloads, 1 to hand, 1 to ground. It's going to happen for him. I'd just like for him to get around that 25 to 30 tackles, because he does have the attacking stats up his sleeve at the 60-minute mark. He's obviously still making a little bit of cash, but we need that to improve and increase a little bit. The production needs to increase a little bit with a few more tackles, and then the attacking stats, I think, will come for sure. Looking down the line, we got Tuolangi. Spoke about him as being a potential option, but I think we could wait a little bit with him having a high break even, obviously down 21k, with the 5 missed tackles and the 3 errors in his game, and they're still not giving him the ball to run. Really love his defense. I think he has a really strong tackle on him, but when he's not getting to run the ball enough, he has to make the big tackles and not have the errors and the missed tackles, and unfortunately, that's not happening at the moment, so we'll wait on him. Amazing to see Dewey back. It was lovely to see. Obviously, 46k down. He's going to lose a lot of cash before he starts making any. Not sure which starting position he's going to get. Does he get a centre role? Does he just play off the bench for a little bit? He seems like it's wasted off the bench, but is what is with Dewey there. Alex Twile there with the 1, obviously got the head knock. Pretty bad, actually. Thankfully, he was walking around the team there at the end and looking okay, thank goodness. And Toa went down. It looks like he might be out for a bit with that high ankle sprain, which might give Adam a chance to play in that centre spot. But there you go, guys. Let's see the wrap up for the week. I hope you enjoyed that week. Did you make any ranks? I feel like, if you got out of it even, I think was a decent way to do it. I think, my teams there, they lost a little bit. My one just a little bit there. I think head-to-head improved a tad. And then the people squad, I think, went down a little bit as well, which is not ideal, but is what it is. I hope you all enjoyed it. Subscribe, like this video, and we'll catch you in the next few videos, guys. Have a good one.